Hello, everybody, and welcome to the COTRI Weekly Editorial of the 19th of October 2021, with the title, Spin Doctors Taking Over. The Golden Week 2021, which happened at the beginning of this month, provided again proof of the wanderlust of the Chinese. The number of domestic trips was back to 70% of the level of 2019, despite the restrictions and the official discouragement of the government to go on leisure trips. The spending, however, stayed at about 60% of the 2019 numbers, a result of the growing importance of self-drive trips to destinations within the region. I had the pleasure to participate in the flesh at the Global Tourism Forum Leaders Summit Europe in Brussels last week. If you missed this very successful event with high-ranking participants, among them the CEOs of Qatar Airways and the CEO of Accor Hotel Group, who both said to say a lot of interesting things about the future of global tourism, you can find the video recordings together with many others on the website globaltourismforum.org, all written together, or on youtube.com. This participation in the summit also involved flying from Brussels via Amsterdam to Hamburg, something which would not have made myself stopping reading my newspaper throughout the trips in the times before the pandemic, but now triggered to paying attention to details after such a long time of staying in one place and not using aircraft so often anymore. So I noticed, for instance, that KLM, which is together with Air France, a Dutch-French company, operating a flight which goes from the Netherlands to Germany, sees no necessity anymore to do announcements in any other language than English. It was also the first time that I heard the announcement that it is illegal to take photos or videos of other passengers unless they have stated their prior agreement. Masks obviously still play an important role in air transport. In the security announcements, you are reminded to take your FFP2 mask off before putting the oxygen mask on, if necessary. That was also new for me. And also, while it's a bit hard to understand why in the first half of the flight it is absolutely necessary to wear a mask, when in the second half of the flight, after everybody has received some potato chips and a free cola or wine or beer, nobody wears a mask anymore because everybody is eating and drinking. Well, more importantly than these musings, however, could be the article in the China Daily, which appeared on the same day the summit was held, on the 12th. For the first time, a government official openly said that the borders could be opened again at the beginning of 2022. And let me quote this paragraph. China may open its borders after it vaccinates over 85% of its population by early 2022, said Gao Fu, the head of the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, in a recent interview. The current epidemic control measures against COVID-19 in China have won a lot of time to produce enough vaccines and inoculate people, he told a news outlet. If the vaccination rate can reach more than 85% in early 2022, there will be few infections and none of those infected would be in serious conditions or die. Besides, the virulence of the coronavirus is also decreasing, according to Gao. And Mr. Gao is quoted in saying, by that time, why shouldn't we open up? So unlike previous voices, well, end of quote. Unlike previous voices from independent researchers like the famous Dr. Zhongnan Chan, Mr. Gao, as a boss of the Chinese Center for the Disease Control and Prevention, which is an agency of the National Health Commission, based in Beijing, is a government official. The spin to the story in China is obviously changing as the virulence of the SARS-CoV-2 is decreasing in terms of serious illnesses in a population which is mostly vaccinated, of course, whereas the virulence for an individual unvaccinated remains the same. Is this reference to statistical trickery a sign of the Chinese government admitting that the zero-case policy does not work and that the affluent citizens should be given the freedom of international travel again as a safety valve for any displeasure after the ongoing power shortages, the internet restrictions, and the looming wealth taxes? If Dr. Gao's beginning of 2022 means before or after the Spring Festival, or before or after the Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games, which all is February and March 2022, this is of course open to interpretation. In any case, the hints that it is time to get prepared for the next wave of Chinese visitors are growing in number and frequency. Signposts at Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam still standing in the transit lounge and still explaining in Chinese characters the fastest way to the China Connection departure gates soon will get more attention again. With that, as always, all the best wishes from me, Professor Dr. Wolfgang Georg Alt, CEO of COTRI China Outbound Tourism Research Institute, and the entire COTRI Weekly team. Thank you so much.